Crazy with those games. And now we're going to get crazy with some DIYs. Chalk paint is a hot new trend in the world of refinishing. And here to show us how to make it ourselves and save some money is one of our amazing DIYers, Diane. His name is Ken Wingard. He's pretty impressive.
Ken. We're good buddies.
Yeah. And you know what? We have a lot of really cool DIYers here, and we do some really good stuff. And I want to give them a little bit of accolades before we get started. I'm really impressed with what you guys do.
Sweetie.
Yesterday, Orly did one of the coolest things I've ever seen. It is this 3D wall art that pops out. It's really cool. And she got these images online. I think we have a picture of the images too. I ordered these for my nephew because he loves them. So if you don't want to DIY them yourself, you can go to walltat.com and you can actually order them. They're much bigger and they're not 3D, but they're pretty cool. They range from $49 to $249. So if that's something you'd like to do, feel free to do it. And you can also probably order chalk paint if you want, or you can make it yourself like right now.
Well, I saw Ken making this and he goes, it's chalk paint. I'm like, oh, what is it? He goes, here, taste it. It's chalky.
He did not. Did you really try to make
do that, Mark?
I did not.
What exactly is chalk paint?
All right, so there's a lot of confusion because people, you say chalk paint, and we're like, oh, chalkboard paint. Yes, I love chalkboard paint. It's not. So obviously, chalkboard paint is a paint that you can write on with chalk. Chalk paint is actually paint that has chalk or chalk replacement inside the paint.
Okay.
So it actually, you end up with a finish that's a little bit rough. It shows brushstrokes. It's very sort of rustic. Like this chair is chalk paint, so it'll have a sort of chalky finish.
It has a lot of texture to it.
It has texture.
You just want it soft almost. It's like.
But will it come off on you, this paint?
It will not. That I just painted. So be careful.
All right. Yeah.
I was
This is
like,
fine. The other stuff, no.
The pluses of it are that you don't have to prep. So if you have an old piece of furniture that has a glossy finish, you can put chalk paint right on top. It'll go on wood, ceramic, glass, and because it will actually hold on to your brush strokes, it always goes on looking a little bit more rustic, so it's very forgiving. So it's kind of a fall safe like kind of paint to use, but it's not cheap. So we have some, you can go out, if money's not an issue, you can go out to stores, you can get it anywhere from, I think one of these small jars is about $9, up to for a quart of the specialty stuff about $35. But they usually come in beautiful colors, all ready to go. You don't have to mix it up. Boom.
Does it go on pretty easy?
It goes on super smooth, and it's thick, and it's thick, and it's thick, and it has a very quick drying time, which is all pluses, I think.
Do you like to paint?
I do. I like to antique.
Oh,
yeah, so this is perfect for that.
Is you talking coats or
one coat?
That's it.
One coat.
One coat.
One coat.
I know.
It's super,
and
super
no
thick.
priming.
And no priming.
So if you're redoing a piece of furniture, chalk paint's your way to go. But
Furniture, I'm gonna do my house in this.
you know, $9 for one
coat,
of
I'm done.
these.
Does it last in the rain?
Yeah, right.
It's gonna take a lot of paint. So it's like how to make a lot of it for less. And there's several recipes out there. This one is from one of our viewers, David Staten, who actually said, hey, Ken, I just tried making my own chalk paint. Here's my recipe, test it out. So I tested out that. I tested out a few others. And his recipe actually, I think, is one of the best.
Nice.
So I'm going to share you how he makes
it.
it. So all you're going to need is just regular latex paint. You know, this is like $9. It's $3 if you get it at the sale place. Thing of plaster of Paris. This big bucket was about $11. That'll make you about 18 quarts. So you just need a tiny bit. And what you're going to do is 1 part plaster of Paris, 3 parts paint.
Wow.
So that's really just plaster.
It's just plaster, right. So you put that in. You could use calcium carbonate, which is actual chalk, but that's kind of hard to find.
How do you know how much water?
Just enough water to wet it down and make it into a paste.
Interesting.
Right, so just enough to get it like liquid, and you want to get your lumps out. This is something that's different than what David told me, because I found that it was hard to mix if you put it in the paint first. So get it into your liquid, get your...
So it's almost like you're actually just making the plaster.
Right, exactly. And then you're going to add your paint in. And again, it's 3 to 1, so very simple formula.
What's usually good a choice for this chalk? Is it like a bright color, muted colors?
You can do anything. When you buy the pre-made stuff, it's usually pretty muted because they're going for a very kind of country, old-fashioned look. But making your own, you can use whatever. And basically, that's what you have. And it looks like normal paint.
You could probably mute it even more with more of this.
Exactly. Well, you don't want to use too much of that because then it's going to harden too fast. So you want to keep it. Now, the difference of what this is done, this was, if you can see this here, I'm going to move this here for you. This was our old counter. It was right here. We painted it a zillion times. And it actually had a glossy finish. You would usually need to sand this, prep it, prime it, get it ready to go. I painted this just right away. I mixed this up. and it goes on smoothly.
Look at that.
Great
Wow,
finish.
it covers well.
It covers well. It won't peel. It won't chip because of that plaster really bonds with whatever is going on below it.
Sure.
Whoa.
Now, once you're done painting, there are a couple of things you can do. If you look here, I'm not sure.
Well,
Nice, Ken. Smart.
there's that.
Smart. Wet paint. So if you can see the top here, man, you want to feel this top. This is very chalky. This on this side here. That's that chalky
yeah.
finish, which I think is great. And then if you look at the corners here, I went through with our little sander and I just roughed it up. It does that, and you get that whole country shabby chic finish. Very lovely. If you want something more polished, like feel this side.
Yeah, I can
Diane,
see
Yeah,
that.
it's nice.
all you do was when you're finished is just get a little bit of furniture wax on a little, and then that's gonna, if you don't want it totally chalky or if it's something you're gonna come in contact with,
Oh my gosh, look at that.
and a little bit of that on top, and that takes away a little bit of that chalky and gives you a more finished
So if I
piece
were
of furniture.
if I did go, if I'm not going to make mine, but I'm going to go buy. If I
Right.
go and tell them I want chalk paint, they could give me the paint that you write.
Make sure
Chalkboard.
it'll say chalk paint or chalk style paint, not chalkboard paint.
Okay.
Okay, this cost, you said, how much?
Anywhere from $9 to 35 bucks.
for
And
this.
what about this?
So the fancy stuff of that in a quart is 35 bucks. If I use our quart that we already had, it's 60 cents worth of plaster of Paris. That's 0.60 cents.
So then how
worth
much
of-
would it cost to make this much, do you think?
Well, so if you're buying a $5, so $5.60. But I think, use the paint. This is our paint from the media room, the terracotta pots, the paint from this wall. Just take those leftover paints, put in a little bit of plaster of Paris, and make your own, and then have fun.
Yeah, I keep mine and then they go bad. It's like,
Exactly.
oh,
This
you
is
guys
so
are
cool.
Well, one thing to note about this, when you mix it in like a deli or disposable container. You can seal it and use it for like a week or two afterwards. Add more water if it's gotten too thick, but it will start to set up, and so you'll have to get rid of it. So don't mix too much.
overmix.
Use it within the week, and then move on. But for
Ken.
60 cents,
Yeah.
Who cares?
who cares?